What's common between our universe, Earth, and women? All three are mothers, the keepers of life forms. Without them, even our Brahmand will be Shunya. Cradle to Crown Quest for Self is an inspiring story of Nivedita. In spite of multiple tragedies, she kept her spirit alive, which helped her rediscover herself time and again. An inspiring tale for would be mothers. Nivedita's journey to motherhood was the most painful part of her life, where she had to suffer not one but three tragedies. And yet her will prevailed.
Knowing the fact that when once you take the medicines, the heartbeat which is beating inside you will stop. That is, I think so, really unfair for any woman or any mother. And I started slipping into that depression zone once again. Like life bekar hai and all those things. Wo feeling, come here for a competition, I have to give my 2000% to win this. The basic and the most important reason I went to the pageant was I wanted my life back.
Nivedita comes from Patna, Bihar in North India. She graduated from Chennai as a database engineer. After a brief stint with Wipro, she got into the National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB, as a project engineer. She reached the peak of her career, and the experience Nivedita gained, she cherishes even today.
प्रोजेक्ट में मेरा ये जॉब था कि जो एनसीआरबी का जो ये अपना लेगेसी डेटा है उसको हम न्यू डेटाबेस में वी वर ट्राइंग टू पुल दैट डेटा इन एंड वी वर ट्राइंग टू डेवलप अ टोटल एंड टू एंड ईटीएल, मतलब एक्सट्रैक्ट, लोड एंड ट्रांसफॉर्म द डेटा करके वी वर ट्राइंग टू डेवलप अ न्यू फ्रंट एंड फॉर देम. सर्टन सेंस ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, एक सर्टन सेंस ऑफ प्राइड धीरे धीरे दैट बिल्ड्स अप कि ओके यू आर डूइंग समथिंग, यू आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू द कंट्री इन सम और द अदर वे.
However, Nivedita didn't know that she was about to enter the most painful phase of her life, a journey that would drain her will to live. She would find solace living in a make-believe world, away from her family and friends. However, before the tragedy hit, she had some beautiful moments when Nivedita married Gyan Prakash, an engineer, and moved to Ahmedabad with many dreams.
You have those dreams of chalo theek hai abhi apna ghar and we'll have a good life and kids and all those things and work life. So काफी dreamy and dreams के साथ I moved to Ahmedabad and something good happened and I found that we are pregnant. There's a new change, ठीक है, and we accepted it. It was like it was too early for us, but we were like okay.
When everything looked fine, Nivedita was hit by her first tragedy.
In my 7th week, I found out that there is some problem and I cannot, I'll have to abort it because it will, impact the child's health and it will not, he'll not be able to grow. जो चीज़ एक, एक ray of hope की तरह आई थी, that again suddenly, it was all again shattered. That trauma of, taking those medicines and knowing the fact that once you take the medicines, the heartbeat which is beating inside you will stop. That is, I think so, really unfair for any woman or any mother.
Nivedita counseled herself and decided to move on. She started exploring various options like getting to business or getting back to learning new skills and techniques. This was also a way of diverting her mind from the personal loss. However, the emptiness of losing was playing on her mind.
We also had gone through that trauma, so I also wanted my that child back. Somewhere in my mind I had this thing also कि okay, I'll study also and maybe I'll take a leave from my the corporate life. I'll study and then I can go through the maternity period also, and then I conceived again, but that went well till 5 months. 5th month mein this scan was done, and I was once again told that it will not be a good decision if I say कि आप pregnancy continue करो, you will have to abort this one also because there is some abnormality and उसके वजह से the child will not be able to grow. So it is better that we terminate this.
Nivedita was devastated. She had barely come out of her first tragedy and she was facing another one, but this time even more painful. Multiple medical opinions in Ahmedabad and Mumbai pointed towards one solution.
So again like terminate word सुन करके फिर से वही कि मतलब I was like I'm not going to kill one more, and this is I was really unacceptable of it. And then
Nivedita was not prepared to give up on her child. However, after a long period of consulting, she, with a heavy heart, approved termination. However, this time was not a simple process. Nivedita had to go through 70 hours of labor to deliver a stillborn.
It was very painful 3 days of my life, and then eventually when I had finally almost given up कि नहीं आप operate कर दो, नहीं हो रहा है मेरे से, but it happened and it happened naturally. And yeah, like I said, female थी, and yeah, I saw her and then she was taken away. तो उसके बाद उस समय तो pain था, तो you know that was more of a physical pain. So वो mentally जो मेरे साथ होने वाला था, I was not even aware of it. I was just so confused. I used to get angry. I used to like not talk to anyone, and it was like life बेकार है and all those things. वो feeling.
The two back-to-back tragedies had torn Nivedita apart. The only way she could keep herself sane was by returning to her studies. She completed a diploma in event management. However, she could not shake off the internal struggle due to the twin loss. On the advice of her doctors, Nivedita went for a third attempt at motherhood. This time, it looked different as she was blessed with a baby boy born after a full-term pregnancy. The couple was delighted. But wait, their happiness ended there.
अभी नए टॉयज एंड बॉटल्स एंड ये एंड वो सब कुछ होने लगा, एंड सडनली उसकी तबीयत थोड़ी ख़राब हुई, एंड वी लॉस्ट हिम इन लाइक व्हेन ही वाज एग्जैक्टली ऑन द 100th day of his life. We lost him, and एकदम लोएस्ट फेज ऑफ योर लाइफ मैं थी, जो exactly feeling मेरे अंदर आती थी that you do not deserve a life, you should just take your life. Like I was so suicidal कि you do not deserve to give birth to a child. You do not, मतलब एक होता है ना कि तुम you don't have any rights to live. I used to sleep thinking of this fact that he'll come in my dream and I'll meet him in my dream. But that used to give me so much comfort कि मैं बस दिन भर सोती रहती थी. My husband was very scared, my parents were very scared, because obviously it is affecting your health also. Mental pain तो एक जगह है, physically also you go through so many changes when you are carrying a baby.
Irrespective of the species, the mother never gives up on her child. Nivedita wanted her child back. She and Gyan Prakash went for the 4th attempt, which was successful. She was blessed with a daughter who is now 4 years old.
I have my child back, and she came to me on the exact date, 27th, on which date I had lost my son. She is very special to me, to all of us, and she has changed our lives completely when it comes to like parenting or being a mother, and she has given us everything which we were longing for, craving for.
Their daughter, Kitu, brought happiness to the family. Nivedita was settling down to the fact that her difficult times were behind. So, she wanted to restart her career. Her mother suggested acting or modeling as an option. This was in line with Nivedita's interests. Further, with encouragement from the family, including her husband, she decided to go for the Mrs India beauty pageant. At that time, Nivedita did not know that her mother was diagnosed with advanced stage cancer, and the doctors had given her 4 months to her mother. So, on her mother's insistence, Nivedita applied for the competition, and after multiple rounds of screening, she made it through to the finals. Even during this phase, Nivedita was troubled by her mother's health.
कभी कभी वो बीपी लो हो जाता था उनका, तो थोड़ा सा बेहोश टाइप हो जाती थी. मेरा ध्यान सीधे वही, आई एम गोइंग टू लूज हर. शी यूज्ड टू कम बैक एवरी टाइम एंड शी यूज्ड टू ठीक है, थोड़ी देर का फेज था. एक अनरियल जोन में मैं घुसने लगी कि nothing of this sort is going to happen ever again, because I faced a lot and nobody is going away from me. I'm also going to go to the pageant, and like my mom said, I'll do wonderfully well there. I'll give my 100% and I'll come back, and वो crown दे करके तो she'll be एकदम super duper fine, because this will be a big achievement for her as a mother. बोलते हैं ना कि जितना positive thoughts और जितनी positivity रखो cancer patients के अगल बगल, वो उतने ठीक होते हैं. तो मेरे मॉम का भी की भी तबीयत बिल्कुल it had started deteriorating at a very very fast rate. She lost her vision, she lost her balance, then she lost her speech, फिर control lose करने लगी. Then doctors said कि she is an ICU patient, either you admit her to the hospital or be with her in her last days, it's your choice. Obviously हमारा choice वही था कि obviously she'll stay with us. Why are we going to put her in the hospital? We'll do whatever it takes and we'll do everything.
For Nivedita, the beauty pageant was now more than a career option. It was something she wanted to win for her mother.
I have left somebody who is going through her last days, who is my mom, who brought me into this world, and I've come here for a competition. I have to give my 2000% to win this. The basic and the most important reason I went to the pageant was I wanted my life back. I gave my 100%, and yes, I won 2 crowns. I came back and I gave the crown to my mom. She understood it after 2-3 days कि अच्छा she is won 2 crowns and she came back. It was like a life-changing event for me.
Soon after winning the twin crowns, Mrs India Second, runner-up, and Mrs India Face of South, Nivedita lost her mother to cancer.
Somewhere in my heart, I was satisfied about the fact that this has happened and I have won it. She tried to, express it in whatever ways she could. She was crying. She left us, and I started slipping into that depression zone once again. When you have gone through it once, maybe it also becomes easier to understand or to judge कि आप फिर से कुछ गलती कर रहे हो, and going into that phase, it will lead to nothing. So maybe that thing helped me in not going into that phase and pulling myself back halfway.
Today, she is the state director for Diva's beauty pageant and is looking to help women find their place and their calling. Nivedita has proven that she has the physical and mental strength to overcome challenges. She has discovered and rediscovered her core strength time and again in the past 10 years.
Setback जो होता ना, it's never stronger than your comeback is what I think. और उसको prove करना कि yes, setback है, but your comeback is way more stronger than the setback is what I have proved. What is your journey basically? And a woman of substance, which we say, कि क्या like that gravity, how will you do justice to the crowd? This is what I believe in, and I say this, like nobody can stop us from rising. Any trauma, any setback, any pulling down, if you are like determined to rise, you will definitely rise.